Go Dibs. This is Bennett back with another weekly recap show for the Dads in Business Fantasy Football League. This is the week 2 edition. Another crazy week in the NFL. Pretty much every week is crazy. A lot of injuries this week, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the story I want to tell to start off before I get into our league is my son and daughter's first experience with the heartbreak of and the roller coaster ride of fantasy football, especially when you have players playing in Monday night game and you just need a certain amount of points to win the game. And even in a blowout, if they're down by just a couple points late, you're looking for any little reception by a running back or anything to get that final couple of points to win. And as you can see by the scoreboard, they did not get that point, but it was really a cool roller coaster. So I think they were down by 3 late in the game. If you didn't see the game, Eagles were up late in the game, and they had a 3rd and goal or 3rd and short from inside the 10, and the Falcons were out of timeouts. So, of course, the traditional thing is to just run it. Even if you don't get the first down, you're going to waste 45 seconds and kick the field goal and then make the Falcons go the length of the field with like a minute left. Or you can go for the kill and get the first down and end the game right there. But, of course, you're risking an incomplete pass or some major fiasco like an interception or something like that. So the Eagles, I think, made the right move and called a really good play on 4th down where Hurts rolled out and threw a perfect pass to Barkley, who subsequently dropped the ball. Now, from a fantasy perspective, as you can see, they had Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and also Kyle Pitts. And I think at the time they're down by 3. So they're just looking for any little bit of points. So the irony is, had Saquon caught that ball, that would have been 1 point, but it wouldn't have gotten them any yardage points, and they would have lost by a couple. So that was actually a good thing because instead they kicked the field goal, and now and then they kicked off, and now he has got a chance to get points from Kyle Pitts. And so Kyle Pitts had, I think, 1 catch for 9 yards. And so I was saying if he can catch 1 catch for 11 yards, he's going to get a point for the catch plus, a total of 20 yards. He's going to get 3 points, and that would have tied the game. So that actually ended up happening on the first couple plays. Kyle Pitts gets an 11-yard catch. He gets the 3 points. Now it's tied. My son breathes a sigh of relief. Fast forward a little bit. Falcons ended up scoring a touchdown. Pitts did not catch another ball. So, and Falcons, took the lead with like 30 seconds left. So again, from a fantasy perspective, all he needed from Jalen Hurts was, a couple passes, 25 or so yards, a screen pass to Barkley. All he needs is the points. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he ended up getting 1 point and was up 136-135. But then, of course, what ended the game was Jalen Hurts throwing an interception, minus 2 points. They lose 135-134. So I was happy because I'm a Falcons fan. My son is supposed to be a Falcons fan, but instantly starts being a fantasy football fan over his real life team. And he was sort of heartbroken. So obviously it was fun for me and my son to watch the football game. It was a great ending, and he gets to experience what anyone who's played fantasy for more than a couple years has undoubtedly had the heartbreak of losing a close game just like this. So welcome to the world of fantasy, Evan. Now for this week, for our league, really not any close games. This game here, the Sausage Party versus Go Bijan Go, was the only close game. Go Bijan Go really could have used a little bit more from Bijan on Monday night. Bijan had a pretty good night, but maybe a touchdown or something like that would have gotten him some extra points. So a fairly low-scoring game. Sausage Party goes to 2-0 thanks to just kind of a well-rounded effort, 107 points. Go Bijan Go, a little bit disappointing. Not a ton of points here other than, Malik Neighbors, who's basically came out of nowhere from the hapless Giants, and he had 24 points. But that wasn't enough. Go Bijan Goes 1-1. We have the weird emoji team. Team Machado losing to Judgment Day. They both go 1-1. Not a lot of points from Machado. Stafford, didn't have anyone to throw to, and just not a lot of points other than, as you can see, Mason and Brock Bowers. And Judgment Day had a decent amount of points. They are going to get some love from the bench player of the week because they had Kyler Murray on the bench and a rookie starting against the Giants. Not sure if I would have made that move. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. But Jane Daniels only got 13 points. But Metcalf had a big game, and again, in a low-scoring game, it was enough to get the win, 112-89. We've got Matt's monstrous team also going 1-1 with a 134-118 win. Endzone Esquires are 0-2, and this is a good problem to have with Matt. He's got Patrick Mahomes as his starting quarterback, but he's also got Baker Mayfield, who's been lighting it up. So really set in the quarterback situation here. And before Jefferson got hurt, Justin Jefferson had 24 points. Kittle had a good night. A lot of points from the Ravens kicker. So just a nice little, consistent game all around. To get 134.5 points. And the Endzone Esquires had a pretty good day. They've started the rookie Caleb Williams, who got 6 points and had both Derek Carr and Sam Darnold on the bench. So they get so that obviously hurts. I don't know, doing the quick math, if that alone would have been enough to get the win, but definitely want to have one of those two quarterbacks in instead of Caleb Williams. Of course, it was nice to see Marvin Harrison get 4 catches for 130 something yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Doesn't catch another pass the rest of the game, but gets the 30 points, and that's nice to pick up. Devontae Smith and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who did pretty good but didn't have a lot of points, and 20 from your kicker. That won't happen every week. So just not enough there to get the win, even with Marvin Harrison. They fall to 0-2. We've got the Cash Flow Crusaders, also 0-2, along with the Killer Bees just not scoring any points. You can see Prescott was okay. Achane was okay as well. That's actually pretty good. But 1 point here, 2, 5, 5.5, 2, 4. That's just not going to get it done. Not a lot on the bench either. So definitely a struggle for cash flow starting the year. The Derry Demons are 2-0, even though they got less than 100 points. Josh Allen did win the game, didn't have a lot of points. Barkley, again, as I mentioned earlier, had a pretty good game. There was also a play earlier where his knee was down at the 1-inch line. And so a touchdown went back, got called back, and ended up being a quarterback sneak for Hurts. So Barkley easily could have gotten some more points with a little bit of luck. Chris Godwin did okay, and then just a lot of single digits here. So they get the win, even scoring less than 100 points. We've got the Mahomies, I believe, are just crushing the points. I think they're the league leader in points. And I gave them crap last week for starting Brock Purdy over Tua, but sure enough, Tua gets hurt. And so Brock Purdy's got to be the guy going forward. Just a lot of points, just steady consistency, even with, these two guys doing nothing. Kelsey and Kirk basically with, they must have only had 1 catch or maybe a fumble or something. But when you get 45 points from Kamara and you get a good game from Collins, Connor, and Ridley, you can survive a couple dead players right there. And they end up with 160.5 points. Not ChatGPT did pretty good, although they are going to fall to 1-1. The aforementioned Hurts had a great night. Breece Hall is doing well. J.K. Dobbins. So some of the main players are doing well, but not enough from Myers, Pitts, or even Debo did okay. So just again, a pretty good game. Not, can't really do too much. You can't play defense in fantasy. So you get the 128 points, but they get the loss. And one more game, I saved the worst for last. The poor Killer Bees with only 89 points. That's my team, of course. Lamar Jackson actually did okay, but just decimated by injuries. Number 2 overall pick, McCaffrey, not just missing the one game, but he misses 4 games now. Puka Nacua got hurt in week 1, and Jordan Addison was out, as well as Keenan Allen. So as you can see, I literally could not put another person in because everybody had played by Sunday night, and then all of a sudden Keenan Allen is out. I don't know if that would have helped at all, because really the only person that did anything was Devontae Adams. Meanwhile, only idiots pay for college. Jeff's team, pretty solid there. 18 from Burrow. Zay Flowers had a good night. That kind of negated anything from Lamar Jackson. Tyreek Hill, obviously, with Tua going out, isn't going to get much points. So you've got only idiots pay for college winning over the hapless Killer Bees, 114.89. Quick look at the power rankings, which again, draft day, number 1, Killer Bees, 2 weeks into the season down to 12. And based on what I'm looking at, that's actually not too far off. My team is pretty bad. I think the Cash Flow Crusaders and I are kind of neck and neck for kind of the worst teams in the league, but it's only been 2 weeks, so not going to freak out about that. And of course, the Mahomies with all their points, they're up to number 1. And I just also, again, just wanted to highlight, this sport, there's so many injuries, but I feel like there's more injuries than ever. Puka Nacua got hurt the first week. McCaffrey didn't even play. You've got Tua with a concussion. He's out for 8 weeks. You've got Pacheco, who had a really good game, but he's on ER, I think, also for 8 weeks. Justin Jefferson came out of the game. Cooper Kupp came out of the game. Deebo Samuels came out of the game. A.J. Brown didn't play. And it just goes on and on. Like I said, Puka Nacua got hurt the first week, so tons of injuries, rocking. You'd like to get at least 3 or 4 weeks into the season before your injuries pile up there. So that's it for the update. I mentioned this earlier, quick nod to the bench player of the week, which is Kyler Murray, just because he was pretty obvious pick, should have been an obvious pick over Jaden Daniels. But again, Judgment Day gets the win, so it didn't hurt them. And then kind of an honorable mention to Edzone Esquires, who had both Derek Carr and Darnold on the bench, and again started the rookie. So just busting balls a little bit there for starting the rookies. So give it to Kyler Murray, the bench player of the week for week 2. And I've been talking for 13 minutes, so I'm going to end this edition by saying good luck next week. Check the waiver wire. Don't be afraid to make trade offers, and hope everyone's having a great football season so far out there. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.